Hey, welcome back again. Today I'm just going to talk about things you can talk about on the internet or to help other people out. And so I used to watch like these travel videos, and basically some of the stuff that they gave were just dumb. I'm just saying. One guy, like I said, I don't know if I said this before, but he said that you should go to a water fountain overseas and fill up a water bottle. Now, a water bottle, if you get Walmart in the United States, is only like 20 cents or something to that effect. It's not expensive. And so if you have to go overseas and use a water fountain to fill up a bottle to save money, you really probably shouldn't be overseas. Now, I'm not going to criticize it, but there's another reason why I'm saying this is a bad idea. There's a lot of countries that have public water fountains, and the water is dangerous to drink. And these are usually in the third world countries. A lot of them are in Africa, Asia, South America, and these. I mean, you could have them in Central America. I think just like North America, some parts of Europe is really bad. Some parts of America are really bad. North America really bad. So it's all over the world. You really shouldn't be getting water out of a water fountain and put in a water bottle unless you know it's a safe environment. I know back in the 80s there was a bad TB epidemic in the Philippines. So if you wound up drinking water out of a water fountain in the Philippines, you would probably catch TB. And they even said, do not even use ice from the Philippines. This is when I was in the Philippines back in the 80s. Don't even use ice. They were recommending that you just get bottled water and ice from certain companies because the water was so bad. And so when you want to talk about themes, you got to look around like, okay, this was something somebody would be interested in. This would be something that would be helpful for someone who's traveling overseas. So you got to write it down right away, because if you don't, you're going to forget it. So wherever you are, just write it down, just a reminder, because if you say, oh, I'm going to wait till I get home and I'm going to remember that, chances are you're going to forget it when you get home. So write these things down. You can get inspiration from watching other videos and say, hey, yeah, you're right. That is true. I never thought about talking about that. Even though you might be copying the person, don't use the word for word from that person. Use the title only. If they say, don't make fun of people in overseas because you don't know how much money they have, well, that's something that's true. I mean, you got to think, if you're in a third world country and you're trying to think that you're better than these people because you come from a Western society, you forgot someone built those bridges, somebody built those airplanes, somebody built those roads, highways, bridges, somebody built the airport, somebody built those high rises. It wasn't just done because someone from a foreign country came and decided that they were going to build it there because they were going to be nice people. And in some cases, yeah, there are some places in third world countries that try to cheap out on everything just to save a little bit of money, and it eventually shows. So if you take a little bit of effort, but don't think that just because you're from a Western society, whatever you think is going to be the best thing ever, that's the wrong thing. Go with what the people flow in that country, and everything will just be perfect for you. So in the things to talk about, just write down what you think would be helpful for somebody. If it's going to be a nice restaurant to go to, type of food to eat, maybe you want to talk about a hotel to stay at, or you want to talk about changing money. I mean, someone who could watch your video could say, you know what, that's something that I could be very interested in viewing. And yeah, I do a lot of B-reels, and the only reason I do the B-reels, that's basically when you see like just walking down the street and you see like a view. And the only reason I do that is because one time I did see a couple people that do it and they made a lot of views. But another reason I do it is because I don't have anybody travel with me very much. And so a lot of the videos I have are basically me. And I got to learn to hold the camera up higher when I'm talking to myself instead of low. But I don't like being in a restaurant talking about the type of food, holding the video up high, and then having like everybody in the restaurant looking at me like, hey, this guy's a little bit on the psycho side. But yeah, so that's the thing. When you got the themes to talk about, think about what you could use, what you could talk about that somebody else could talk would be find useful. And when you go somewhere, if someone's going to come there to the same travel place, like there's a temple in Cambodia that very few people go to. There's a couple of them I had in my video, and I didn't talk about them, but I did show them. And I know that if I went to Cambodia, I can show a lot of people places they don't go. I like going places that no one or very few Westerners or foreigners go to in countries. So those are the type of ones, when you talk about these places and the history of it, it really comes through. When I go to the Philippines, when I go to the Philippines, I'm going to go to places and I'm going to show you the history of the Philippines, like Fort Santiago. I'm going to show you about the fort, where the Americans were held, the dungeon in the place, where Jose Rizal was imprisoned. I'm going to show you all the places. I'm even going to show you Jose Rizal's place where he was executed. I'm going to show you the place where was the American headquarters. I'll show you where the Japanese imprisoned people. I'm going to show you all of this, and it's going to be like, wow. I'm even going to show you where Douglas MacArthur's car was when first time I went there. So I want to show you that, because when you go to the Philippines, or you say, hey, I want a vacation, I'm going to the Philippines, I'm going to go to this place because it sounds so interesting. And that's what you want to do. You want to have a theme where people can say, this is what I want to do, and this was really a great video, and it's helpful. And that's what you want to do when you do a theme. You want to be helpful, and you want people to understand different cultures and different ways of thinking and the different parts of the world, because it's a beautiful world. Beautiful people everywhere, and everything is beautiful in its own way. So I want to say thank you, and I'll see you next time. All right, thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.